This video is sponsored by Card Kingdom. You can visit their store by using my referral link in the description below. Okay. Well, Hulking Raptor is a pretty good rare, just a huge creature. The mana, extra mana does have diminishing returns, but like if you play it on turn 4, you're usually going to be able to do something extra with it on turn 5. After that, you're less likely to, but it's still a 4 mana 5/3 with Ward 2. So, it's amazing, more or less, if you play it on turn 4, and solid, after that. So, it's a pretty good pickup, especially because this pack is not awesome. Yeah, I mean, Cavern Stomper's not bad. It is the kind of thing you can play the turn after you play Hulking Raptor. Castlem Stone Tree's not bad, but we do have like 3 cards that I think are pretty much unplayable, which is rare these days in Limited, but Game Ball, Relic's Roar, and Slumber are all pretty bad. I think we take the Raptor. I don't love it, but it's a pretty weak pack overall, so I think it's fine. Okay, I do love Deep Cavern Bat. Nice disruption on a nice body. We did play with Jade Seed Stones already in the format, and it performed reasonably well. We do have a cave. We've also got Spelunking, but it's not really the cave payoff I'm taking and hoping I can build around. And I don't like taking caves. I mean, I like taking them relatively early because you end up playing them in most decks unless you have a bunch of 1-drops or something, and even then you might still play them. But taking one pick 2 isn't exactly where I want to be. I think we just take the Deep Cavern Bat. It's great if you can enhance it, and, even if you can't, it's a pretty darn good disruptive creature. Does the Kite Sail Freebooter thing. Okay. So Sanote Scout is a really good 1-drop. We've also got a Malamet Battle Glyph, which I think is quite good. Nice removal spell for green, and we do have 1 good green card. I think it's probably where we go. I think it's a little better than the Scout. Like, if you could play Scout turn 1 every game, it would be better. But, it just doesn't work out that way. It is still good no matter what. I'm just saying, like, if you play it on turn 1, it's really insane, and it kind of drops off a little bit every turn after that. Yeah, so I think we go Battle Glyph. I'm not a dowsing device, believer at this point. I haven't really seen it work, and, yeah, it seems pretty awkward overall. And we've already got 1 really good green card, so we'll take another one. Okay, so I like Armored Kincaller a fair bit. Just like a really good 3-drop that's going to gain you 3 a lot in this format, especially if you're in like green-red. Skullcap Snail's pretty good. Council of Echoes is pretty good. I'm leaning Kincaller, though. Tinker's Tote is an interesting card. I mean, in the set review and in the archetype guide, I made it clear that and in my best comments and uncommons video, I made it clear that this card seems super important for lots of decks in the format. That said, green-white, for example, not really one of them. Blue-white, red-white, and black-white all can really go nuts with it. We went a little nuts with it yesterday in a black-white deck, but if you're not in one of those decks, it's less good. And I think Kincaller is just a really good Dino payoff that it's pretty nice. These are 3 very playable white cards, but we're still seeing good green stuff, so I'm not exactly eager to do other things. Okay, so we've got a Cloud Guard and a War Scribe, both of which I think are quite good. Acolyte, pretty much only worth it in black-white. I do like Axejaw and Dart Frog. Like, all 3 of these green commons, all 4 of these green commons are pretty nice. I do think Cloud Guard is probably better than all of them, but given that our first 3 picks, well, 3 of our first 4 picks are green cards, I'd probably stick in green. Fixing's nice, so is, Death Touch sometimes. I think that's where I'm leaning, is to the Dart Frog a little more than these Explore creatures. Okay, so now we do have a pack that doesn't really have a green card I'm that interested in. I mean, it's playable, but, Dinotomaton seems pretty good, and red-green is the best deck for, like, Kincaller, for example. And we do have another Dino already. Necromage is pretty good, but it's another card that really shines in like black-white and less elsewhere. So I think I'm going Dinotomaton here. See if red-green's open. Okay, so here's an interesting pick. So Calamitous Cave-In is the kind of cave payoff that I'm tempted to build around because it's a sweeper. But the awkward thing about it is once you're in like a creature deck, it's not nearly as good. Like, and we're definitely in one. Since it's, symmetrical. So I probably don't take the Cave-In, even though I really like it. We've seen Hit the Motherlode a lot, but that's because it's horrible and nobody wants to play it. I think I go with another Dart Frog, and we lean a little bit into potentially ramping, because we've got 2 Dart Frogs and Hulking Raptor at this point. Element Brawler is a perfectly fine 2-drop. This cave is unfortunately not really one you want to play. Amphitic Draft, pretty good if you're black-white especially, but it works well in all the artifact decks. Doesn't really feel like we're one of those. I think we just take the Brawler. This is a really weak pack overall. Unlucky Drop is probably the best card. Don't like Disturbed Slumber. We still have our Game Ball here. Child of the Volcano seems okay. Compass Gnome. If we were into caves a little more, I'd take it. Do I think Deathcat Marionette? Like, if we're in black-green, Deathcat Marionette's definitely better than Child of the Volcano, and I think it's probably better in black-green than Child of the Volcano is in red-green. So I think that's where we go. Okay. So Malamet Scythe is a pretty legit trick, but I do think we're now at a spot where we take a cave. There's all this upside for having caves to begin with, and they're just, like, good value cards anyway. And it doesn't exactly look like we're going to have a bunch of 1-drops or anything. Okay, so Mineshaft Spider, really another enabler for if we end up in black-green. If we end up in red-green, not nearly as attractive, but... Okay, so Skullcap Snail came all the way around. Stone Tree, if you end up in a cave-heavy deck, not bad. It also ramps our mana, but Skullcap Snail is just going to be way better in most decks than Stone Tree is. I think I may grab another cave. I mean, Acolyte's not going to be great in a black-green deck. I mean, it's okay, but having a couple caves now opens us up to taking some cave payoffs, potentially. Feels like black-green's more open, given the incredibly late Snail and Marionette. So, Anim Pakal is really good. It does get less good the later you play it. Thank you for the resub, Eon Volterra. But it's pretty good, and if we were red-green, we'd be able to splash it. That being said, this pack does have a Kin Collar, which I think is pretty good in a Monstrosaur, but I think this is strong enough. I'd probably just take it here. There are cards in this pack that are more likely we play them, but none of them are so good that I really want to take them over Anim Pakal. I think we see whether or not red-white, or not red-white, but if we end up in red-green, playing it will be relatively easy. So, okay, so big old Cavern Stomper. Do have a Captivating Cave. I think we probably just take Axejaw, though. I mean, green is very clearly open. I do like Stinging Cave Crawler a decent amount. Especially if we do end up in black-green, Cave Crawler is going to be pretty good. But I think we'll take Axejaw here. Okay, so Saheeli's Lattice is pretty good. We do have a lot of dinos, and I just think it's a nice card in general. The green cards in this, we got some combat tricks that are okay. I'd probably take the Lattice here. This cave is interesting. Can sometimes fix to some extent. But yeah, so we take the Lattice. I feel like that probably means we're leaning red-green now. One more piece of fixing would be enough for me to play Anim Pakal. It's definitely better if you're not trying to splash it and you're just like red-white, but no matter when you play it, it's going to start getting big and spitting out random tokens, so it's hard to be too upset about that. In a weird way, I guess Discover is kind of fixing. Okay. Well, nothing great in this pack for, like, anybody. I don't hate Hoverstone Pilgrim or... Yeah, Staggering Size. I mean, tricks look like they're going to play okay for us. I should probably just take the trick. It also cuts green, which has its benefits. Been lots of Tinker's Totes going around. Okay, so Bristleback is a pretty sweet thing to ramp into, and we certainly have ramp, and Forest Cycling is just a nice thing to have. Tithing Blade would be nice if we're staying black. I do like Dig Site Conservator, but I think I like Nurturing Bristleback here for what our deck looks like. Wouldn't hate some Burning Sun Cavalries. So I don't really think we're going to be a Mineshaft Spider deck. We don't get much out of milling things the way our deck is starting to look. May change. I mean, there are a few green cards that care about it. I think this might be the best of the cyclers, just between being the most impactful when you play it and being in a color that cares about the graveyard. You know, I've been a little impressed with this so far, but the one time I've actually played against it, my opponent also had the double Discover creature in play, so it probably overperformed. Gold Fury Strider. How many artifacts? Yeah, nowhere near enough. I think I like Malamet Scythe a little more than I like Itali's Favor. Okay, another Dart Frog. That pretty much seals the deal for playing a Neem Pakal, I think. Yeah. Another thing we could try to splash potentially that I don't hate, but I think we'll take another Dart Frog before we do anything else. Okay, another Brawler, I guess. Yeah. Our colors do seem less open on this side, and I'm less certain I'm staying in red now because of how this pack has gone. It's not like we don't have pretty good black cards, so keep that in mind. Green continues to look pretty good, but not so much red. Don't have enough artifacts for that. This is mostly a sideboard card. Runaway Boulder just isn't very good. Skull Taker's probably the best card for if we end up back in black-green, so I think that's what I'm going to go ahead and grab. We're not really a Goblin Tomb Raider deck. We have another Skull Taker. Cartographer's Companion isn't a disaster. I think it's probably what I grab here. I like Landmark, but not so much in this deck where we're not going to have enough artifacts. So, like, you know, if we were going to end up in white anyway as a bigger color. Yeah, I don't feel like this draft has gone super amazing. Yeah, we'll take a Spike Tail. Don't really need more Scythes, so we'll take a Screaming Phantom. So far, like, I think I've navigated drafts pretty well in this format. It was bound to... You're bound to have a bad one eventually. I'm going to take a Cave over that medium 2-drop just in case something happens here. Something cavey. The bummer is, if we're not red, we can't play a Neem Pakal, and that, you know, is sad. Got Restless Reef, which is pretty good. All right, so Triumphant Chomp showing up here I think makes it pretty easy to take a red card. I wouldn't hate a Cavern Stomper the way our deck looks, but this is just an amazing removal spell for our deck. We have 2 1-mana removal spells that are going to be able to kill lots of things that cost way more than 1 mana. That kind of tempo is awesome. Ooh, hello. So definitely Magmatic Galleon comes down, kills something, probably gives you a treasure or 2, and then it sits around as a very real body. Very much what we want to take here. It's not a dinosaur, there's no synergy, but it's a big ol' scary vehicle. Here's a Cavern Stomper, here's a Promising Vein if we want to fix our mana a tiny bit more. The only thing about dart frogs is if like they do die and they they have 1 toughness, so they will. You know, we end up not having the mana we need necessarily for a Neem Pakal. But it does kind of feel like another big old dino is something I'm even more interested in. So I think that's what I take. Whatley's Final Strike is quite good. I think better than all these other things are going to be for us. Thrashing Brontodon, yeah, sure. Main board Disenchant on a relevant creature type body with a good body. Works for me. Zoyo's Justice, not so good. You know, Daring Discovery might just be the pick here. We have more than enough tricks. I definitely don't love it, but it's okay. Good chance it doesn't make the cut, but it's okay. We probably run 1 Staggering Size and 1 Scythe. We don't really have a reason to care about permanents or artifacts, which is kind of a rarity in this format. That's one thing that makes tricks a little less appealing, but if we don't care about them, I think Staggering Size is probably better than the Scythe is overall. I may just end up not splashing a Neem Pakal, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. We do get treasure from Magmatic Galleon. That's some more fixing, I guess. That is some more fixing. Okay. Sunfire Torch is fine. Do I like it more than Walk with Ancestors? I don't have anything that exciting to get back. But, you know, it is a 2-for-1. And we probably have enough high drops. I think we'll take the Torch. All right. So there's a Bat Colony. That's one that if I see early, I'm going to force at some point in this format because it's pretty nuts if you can make it work. We'll take a Capybara. I don't think we're really going to play it in our deck because, you know, we're not good at graveyard things. That Cloud Guard's pretty late. Okay, so Compass Gnome can fix for us for white. So I think it's probably what I take here. Clay-Fired Bricks is still here. White seems pretty open, I guess. There's a Cave-In again. Yeah, I guess I'm going to take it. Why not? I'm not playing any of that other stuff. The Land Cycler, like, theoretically can help us fix, but it's clunky enough that I don't really want to go that route. Another Capybara. Another Child of the Volcano. These are already things we don't really want. Yeah, 7 artifacts is not going to do it. Maybe it will. It's not impossible. All right. So our deck ended up being, you know, kind of a ramp deck. We have some good payoffs for doing that between the 6 and 7 mana dinos. Would have liked some more Armored Kincallers. We only ended up with the 1. I feel a lot better anytime I have those in a slower deck. That kind of card in a slower deck just because it can really allow you to stabilize. I don't think we run the Companion, which probably means we don't run Tomb Raider either. Question is whether we want Daring Discovery. We're only running 1 Plains. I know that much. We've got a Forest Cycler. I mean, our curve is high enough that I do think we need to run 17 still, but having a Forest Cycler does make it easier to not run 1 green source. Yeah, I mean, Daring Discovery, if we were more of an aggro deck, I think I'd be a little more interested than I am. Maybe I do just run Capybaras. I mean, they're not going to be great. But they're going to be better than Tomb Raider, and I could definitely use another early creature. Don't have that many options. You know, that's what happens when, you know, we were sort of in on black for a while there and ended up not going black, so we have kind of a shortage of cards. I guess maybe I want to try this out just to see how it goes. Sure. That's one reason to leave it, to try it out. All right. I don't know what colors. It's very hard to come away with any sort of strong opinion this early in the format. But yeah. I've liked black-white a lot, I guess. All right, I do think this is a keep. We can actually play a turn 3 Anim Pakal and hopefully attack with Compass Gnome. We have a few different ways we can play a turn 3 Anim Pakal, actually. We'll have to decide which way we want to go. So we could play Compass Gnome, put a Plains on top. That's sort of the more surefire way, because if they kill our Dart Frog, we don't have white mana. So I kind of like that plan. Although, if they kill what I play, playing a Anim Pakal is a lot less good anyway. But, yeah, I think we'll still do it this way. Grab Plains. Play something smaller, or the same size. That works for me. Alright, so yeah, now we get to go Anim Pakal. Oh. It's a gnome! You know, you think of it as a token, but this is a gnome, so we don't actually get the token. It's a bit of a bummer. And now we can't really attack, at least not right away. Well, now we can. We have a free attack, basically. Because it counts itself. Yeah. Whenever you attack with one or more non-gnome creatures. And this is, in fact, a non-gnome. They have a free block, but, you know. May as well make them do it. I'm not going to gain the life here, but it's a big old creature, so... Yeah, in retrospect... Well, it's not like the Dart Frog could really attack. So... I wouldn't have the mana up to give it Death Touch, so it wouldn't really work out. Oh... I think I feel pretty good about trading a gnome for this. Ooh, there we go. Now we're in business, because we've got a trick in our hand. So we're going to attack with both. Yeah, double block is going to get them real blown out now. Well, feels pretty good. Aww. They kill Anim Pakal. So sad. I think we just attack with everything. Drop them to 6. They might manage to stabilize. Chupacabra Echo can do it, for sure. Okay, so they are going to get a counter here. 4, 5, 6, and 7. So, I think we attack with our Dart Frog and Kin Collar here. Yeah. We'll throw the token in too while we're at it. So, I think discovering is probably our best bet here. Yeah. So we'll put it in our hand. And into our turn. We are out of bodies. We do still have our 2 really big dinos in our deck, which would, either one would be pretty good. They may make the token here. Or that. We got all our frogs, didn't we? No, just 2, I guess. Yeah, now they get a token. Drawing a dino with 3 or more power there would have been really good, but that is not how it worked out. So yeah, we attack with both of these. Then we will Triumphant Chomp. Need a big dino. So they're going to sack that and discover 5. Or just make that a 3/3, I guess. Well, it's a fight effect, so it's not going to work the way we want it to, but so they've got to discover 5, so they're going to get something on this turn no matter... Oh, no, they don't, actually. Oh, no, yeah, they do. From Buried Treasure. So they're going to get something this turn no matter what. Let's hope it's not good. It's kind of like what we did, I guess. All right. We both discovered into 1 mana removal spells. There we go. That's what we've been looking for. Stompy. Yeah, Dinotomaton pretty much wins us the game. So let's go with that. We can even fight with it the same turn. I guess I could have just fought now, killed that, and hit them for 1. That might have just been better. But by the time I thought about doing it, it was too late. Uh-oh. Yeah, that can be bad. Yeah, Chupacabra, huh? How many permanents do they have? I think enough to kill our Cavern Stomper. Crazily, yeah. That does do the job. This is going to be a 3/3 lifelink. Yeah, that might win them the game. Another chance. I've had similar experiences with it. Yeah, we're going to take 3. So, we're going to play Dinotomaton. So the annoying thing about fight here is they're going to gain life, but they're going to gain even more life if I don't kill this, so... Get in for one here. Well, we need to draw another big dino now. Although Menace is pretty nice here overall. I'm hoping they're holding on to some artifact. Nope, they're not. Yeah, they're... Another chance was very good for them. Okay, well, fine. We had a good time with another chance yesterday, but our opponent's the one having a good time with it now. Getting back Chupacabra Echoes and crap is... It's a beating, that's for sure. Okay, see what they do, if anything. Oh, nice. Well, this might help us get back in this thing. Because we get to kill the Chupacabra Echo before Fungal Fortitude gets on it. They're going to sack it, which is a little less good, but it's better than them being able to recur it again, so... Come on, big dino. That's not a big dino. Is there any value in sacking it in response? They can almost kill us here, but not quite. Yeah, there's not really any value in sacking it in response to destroy dead weight. If it gave them some other effect, maybe. Yeah. So, if this is still alive on their turn, we're dead. Yeah, we drew really poorly. Okay, so we do have turn 3 Anim Pakal. We don't have a creature to play ahead of it, but that's still pretty nice to have. Wouldn't hate getting to play Brontodon first, especially against a black deck. That might just be better. Okay. Let's play our Dart Frog. We can get our Galleon out here pretty quick. Well, so much for that. They do have to choose between... They have some tough choices, I guess. Galleon and Anim Pakal are both pretty scary. Honestly, I think if I were them, I would take... Well, I don't know what I would take. It's hard because... I think the Galleon, just because it's more likely to have a big impact on the game. Although, the fact that they're thinking this much about it tells me they don't have removal right now for Anim Pakal. Because if they did, it's an easy choice. If they don't, it's a hard choice. Okay. So I could play Volcano and then play Brontodon. That does seem pretty good. I can even, you know, keep it up when they try to transform that. I think that's probably what I want to do more than anything. So we can play Galleon this next turn, which will give us a bunch of treasure, which right now we're not doing anything with, but... Yeah, so we're definitely playing our Galleon. Okay, let's play the Axe Jaw. Lattice seems pretty good. Yeah, I mean, it's a real card, for one thing. Attack with Galleon and Brontodon. So if they try to do this, I can just destroy it with Brontodon in response, and then they lose, obviously. Obviously enough. So we're going to take 4. Well, that's all interesting. So we're going to play Dino-Tomaton here. Give this Menace. Crew that. Oop. I imagine they're dead. They think they can do this at instant speed? Even if they could, it would be a blowout, so... let's see. Will we avoid a crash? It does exile itself, but it has to still be around. Otherwise, it doesn't we can't transform. So if I kill it, it can't be exiled and then come back. I'd have to kill it in response. Well, yeah, in response. They can't do it in response either, but keeping the 3/4 around until I needed to do that was, you know, important. All right, good hand. I mean, real red mana would be nice, I guess, but it's acceptable. No surprise Magmatic Galleon was, like, super good. Well, we do have 2 red mana now. Yeah, I guess you can check, but I'm 99% sure that if a thing that is crafting gets exiled or destroyed in response, the cost still happens, like you're saying, of the things in play getting exiled or from the graveyard, but the they don't get anything back because the thing can't transform. Okay. I think we just go Dart Frog, Malamet Battleglyph to kill that thing. So we can play Galleon next turn if our frogs are still alive, and then that probably lets us play Bristleback the turn after that. How does that sound? Pretty good, I think. Yep. That's what we're talking about here. So yeah, we go Magmatic Galleon. Kill that. Treasure. guess we do. No, we don't have to draw anything. We have to have our frogs still be alive is the only thing. And they are. This is pretty awesome. This makes up for the crashes, right? Ramping into our bristleback here. You think they have a sweeper? Well, they do have spring-loaded saw blades. It's not quite a sweeper, but all right. Well, that does make our lives a little more difficult. So the good news is, if they exile it from their graveyard, they don't get the card. Another card, that is. So there's that. Would have been nice to have staggering size mana earlier when they spring-loaded, saw-bladed our Galleon. Yeah, they do get a vehicle, but right now they can't do anything with it. They can neither crew it, nor... Oh, now they can. Alright, so... we definitely attack with these three. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, that's all. Because if I attack with this and they block it with that, the staggering sized plan doesn't really work out for us. So if they block with anything else, we kill the vehicle, so. And in this case, we don't even lose anything, you know, other than a card in our hand. We are out of cards in hand, but because we have Hidden Nursery in play... So I'm wrong about how craft works, huh? Good to know, I guess. Well, that's no fun. I'll have to look that up, I suppose. So, that's bad. It does kill their thing, but it also kills everything we have except our 2/3/3s. They decided not to mill themselves. Well, Lattice doesn't really do anything for us here. Our turn to discover. Should I hold on to this land for Lattice purposes? Yeah, that does seem like a good idea. Okay, well now... Alright, that's a pretty good draw. Well, our current draft started out with us getting beat and then arena crashing, so we started 0-2, but we won our next game, and we're in pretty good shape in this game, I think. The one thing I'm worried about is that they have some kind of interaction in hand for our Huatli's final strike. That would be kind of bad. Still, I think we attack with all 3 dinos here. Yeah, and then we go... See if that works. If it does, we kill both their things and do 7 to them. We also now have a dino in our graveyard for Saheeli's Lattice. And we have Daring Discovery in hand. Okay. Well, that's annoying. Especially because they exiled... Oh, no. Yeah, they didn't exile it, but they just pacified it. So, these two... Gives us a huge dino. I guess I could have... I should have just done the Axe Jaw too, huh? What do they get here? Well, we still win, since we're going to make everything unable to block. We even get a Neem Pakal. That's nice. We do have enchantment removal. We have Thrashing Brontodon. So, we have come back 2 wins in a row. I mean, this deck has just, like, powerful things we can ramp into, and if we can do it, I mean, we're going to be in good shape. It has been impressive that our opponents have managed to, like, in that game where we played, like, turn... Was it turn 4 Galleon and then turn 5... 5-5 that makes a 3-3? They managed to stymie us a little bit, which was kind of surprising. We don't have any... Well, Compass Gnome's an early play, actually. That works out, I guess. I probably put a Plains on top. Just so we are set for that. Okay. So next turn we can play our Raptor. We're going to go ahead and kill this thing. Yeah, I think we want to play Hulking Raptor, because then next turn we could play like Axe Jaw and Dart Frog, and if we draw a big dino, then things get even more interesting. Yeah, there does seem to be a lot of removal that can answer things. Even crazy starts. Obviously enough. Alright, they've said, do all the damage to me you want. Alright, so let's play Axe Jaw with this mana. Sunfire Torch. Doesn't seem amazing. But it's not a land. And I do have a bunch of mana to equip it. Yeah, just leave it on top. Thank goodness for Ward making things a little better for us here. So if we equip Compass Gnome, we can pretty much attack with everything. I can also just Discover, which does have the potential for a bigger turn in it. I don't hate that plan. Please tell me it's not frozen or something. I think they got disconnected. That's pretty darn good, reanimating Dawn Runner. Kind of makes me feel like I need to kill it. Let's see. I probably don't need to kill it just yet. Yeah, we'll use the other mana to play Dart Frog. So they'll kill our Raptor and go to 5. Uh-oh. Yeah. Resolving a bunch of waylaying pirates in a row can be pretty painful. Ooh, boy. Okay. Are they going to tap everything but Gem Guard here? They might. Yep. They kind of have to, I guess, because I could have killed it with the Sunfire Torch. Battle Glyph, huh? That is kind of bad right now. But if I can hit a creature with this, might work out. Actually, yeah, we do want to. We'll cast this for free. And they have to block. And that's true even if we get rid of Sunfire Torch here. I could fight first to kill Warden of the Inner Sky, I guess. Ooh. That forces a block by the Gym Guard. Yeah. Here it comes. And I can also kill this, because this is going to be lethal either way. That was a pretty spicy turn. And I have to block the gnome. I was really bummed to hit that combat trick, but it kind of worked out. Yeah, they can start pirate hatting here. But they can't really attack. So, wow. So we're going to win the game with Daring Discovery again, huh? Hit a Brontodon. Nice. Yeah, we've drawn Daring Discovery at the right time, like every game. So if we had it in our opening hand, it would be a lot more painful that it exists. It does have, you know, see, we have an opening hand now. It does always do something, unlike a lot of nothing can block effects. So at least there's that. I do think we keep this. It's definitely not our greatest hand ever, but it's not terrible. Could use a little bit of ramp. Yeah, it is better than most effects like this we see. Although they rarely these days print cards that just do that, you know? Because we get, like, in Wilds of Eldraine, you had it attached to an adventure. You know, it was an adventure creature. We have enough lands that I don't really feel like throwing Bristleback away at this point. Plus, we had something to do on turn 2 anyway. Yeah. We are just going to pass. Capybara's coming. Probably. They might put it in the grave. Yeah, they do. I think we take 5 here when they attack us because we kind of need something in play for our Scythe or Final Strike to actually work. Ugh. Well, I want to kill that even more. I guess if I can get them to block, I can use the Scythe to kill it. And I still get in for... Oh, they can't block because of Menace. Okay. Yeah, so that means we... I guess I can try to get a 2-for-1 if I wait until their turn, but it is... Well, it's a 2-for-2. But it is incredibly dangerous. If they have any kind of interaction, we just get completely blown out. I think we probably do Forest Cycle because we have Cavern Stomper in our hand. Yeah, so let's just... Let's just do that. Hit him for 5. Pass the turn. We take 5. Oh, look at that. All right, so we're going to do this. It's kind of even more desperate that we do it now. Am I supposed to attack them for 4 here? With Daring Discovery in my hand, I'm certainly tempted to. And then trade Cavern Stompers would be the idea. Then I go to 5. I can trade with both of them. The problem is they're going to have mana up and I don't. So we're not in a great spot here, but I guess that's maybe where we should be leaning. No, thank you. Okay, pretty good chance they have a trick here, I think, but it's not like we can just take this. Or not. Ooh, gross. So they were able to hold on to their bristleback, unlike us. Okay. So what we need to do here is like what we did earlier. We need to hit a creature off of this and then hope Battleglyph can do something. Because right now Battleglyph is bad. Like we could use it on... Well, I guess I could use the Scythe and then the Glyph. But that... I mean, I guess that's a little more guaranteed to work out than other stuff. But I still lose my creature. It only has 5 toughness. So yeah, we have to cast Daring Discovery. Hope we hit a big enough creature and that Battleglyph will do the job. Otherwise, we're dead. I mean, this can kill anything with Battleglyph. So, could be worse. Oh, no, it can't. It doesn't have Death Touch all the time. Yeah, so we're dead. We were dead either way, whether I made the mistake or not. More or less, anyway. You know, going 3-3 after a disconnect loss could be worse. I think our deck was pretty good, honestly. We did have a few slow hands, and this deck definitely can get run over. Because, like, our 2-drops are all kind of dorky. Like, you know, they're not that good at brawling. But we were able to get to the top part of our curve pretty effectively and end up with pretty good situations often enough. I wish we didn't have that disconnect loss, but overall I am happy with how this deck performed.